In our next panel discussion, we'll be discussing the trends and technologies transforming media brands, including omnichannel personalization, shoppable advertising, and generative AI in tech. Please welcome Nazariy, Yevgen, and David, all from GlobalLogic. Gentlemen.
Stephen, thank you. Appreciate it. And thank you to AWS for having us. My name is David Wolf, and for those of you that don't know GlobalLogic, we are a design-led engineering services firm. I very much appreciate you all making time out of your schedule today to join us for evolving monetization models and the future of advertising. We've taken a very pragmatic approach to this discussion, and I have two colleagues with me here who are practitioners who get their hands dirty in implementing solutions for our clients. And what we wanted to do today is have them talk about what they're experiencing working directly with clients who are on the forefront of change, adopting innovative new technologies as we drive towards a more converged, hyper-personalized advertising environment. So thank you very much on that. I'm going to ask them all both to introduce themselves as I hand off the first question to them. And we're going to get started, Nazariy, with you to dive right in. So what are some of the main challenges you're seeing as you work with your clients directly on applying new ad tech into their environment?
Yeah, thank you. Good question. So my name is Nazariy. Really nice to be here, and thank you, everyone, for coming. I'm AVP of Engineering at GlobalLogic, driving our media and OTT delivery. For the last 17 years, I've been working in media, and the last 11 years working at GL. And over this time, we've been helping our partners to build solutions specifically in monetization, in ad tech, in streaming, and building their different smart TVs and set-top box platforms. And targeting to your question, for the last decade, everyone was trying to build up ad tech solution. Now, mainly clients try to make them more efficient. The main questions that we are seeing, how do I boost my revenue? How do I make my cost less? What to do with it? And in reality, what we are seeing is that there is no real one answer. Like, to be frank, there is no, magic pill here or silver bullet. Usually partners select strategies that are best for their business. And one of these strategies is basically TV convergence. It's, reviewing linear and applying strategies used in digital there, unifying the audience outreach and getting proper measurements out of it. Yet another approach is understanding your audience, understanding your users, and pretty much using data to have more targeted, more better experience, to grow conversion from users, to grow their engagement, and to have better targeting. Another approach that we are seeing with our clients is having more immersive experience, where advertisement is not simply ads that you're seeing on TV, but it's rather interactive ads, ads that give you this feel of engagement. Those are shoppable advertisements, basically. And the last item is working with hype stuff, Gen AI and AI, basically driving your efficiency up for your tools, driving efficiency up for your campaigns. So, all of these four items that we are noticing, they are really active with our clients, and we help our clients to build solutions like this and drive their ideas, drive innovation in order to achieve what they want to do.
Urgent to you, what are you seeing? Anything addition?
Well, hi everyone. My name is Evgeny. I'm doing pretty the same that Nazariy doing. I'm closer to, I would say, engineering. And I would say that in conversations with our customers, we have noticed that they are mainly focusing on using different channels to optimize their experience. They are moving away from just sending content out just broadly, and they aim to create experiences on personal experiences on individual level right now. So we're using AI, we're using data analytics to achieve this high level of personalization on across different channels. Also, we have noticed a strong interest to optimizing and enhancing advertising tools to better support sales, adopts and other teams. And these optimizations, they are not just about making teams more efficient. They are about providing more transparency to our customers. And this transparency is vital as it offers deep insights into ad performance and allows to troubleshoot, investigate any ad events more faster. Also, there is a significant shift toward integrating shoppable ads. And this approach is beneficial for both sides. On one hand, we have our audience that receive engaging, more relevant content. On the other side, we have our customers that have direct impact on sales. And such a fusion of e-commerce and advertising, empowered by our technology, of course, drives both engagement and sales metrics upward.
There's a whole lot to unpack in what you just said at a high level. So everything from the data, right, and creating a golden thread of data across maybe legacy, linear, and digital, as well as then getting into convergent models for packaging, selling, and then the currency at which you're packaging, selling, and measuring against, before you even get into Gen AI and where it's applied. So, you want give me a little more specifics in some of the areas where real pragmatic. Now, what are we actually implementing that can be implemented today and done and delivered, and where are we spending most of our time now?
Yeah, it's basically shifting the model from being spot guaranteed, like once in linear and broadcasting, to be audience guaranteed. This basically changes how ad campaigns and how plans are targeted. Basically going from spots to audience changes the model of how measurement is being done. Basically, this allows to create basically a CPM price measurement at the broadcasting level. Obviously, spots are still there for specific events and for like prime times and so on. But big question and big problematic that we're seeing is how to get measurements right, how to get the forecasts right that help to build the campaigns based on the impressions, based on the outreach and actual budget that you have. So this helps to unify these two medias and have cross-platform advertisement delivery.
Anything to add to that?
Well, yeah, I have nothing to add, but everything covers.
So basically, leading ideas that were in linear, where appropriate, applied on digital ideas being applied back in linear, and the enabling tool sets across them to not only enable the campaigns to be created, to be offered, to be transacted, and then reconciled and measured across those, is where we're seeing a lot of the convergence coming from. Excellent. Now, all right, so Gen AI. So hot topic around the conference. Everyone's talking about Gen AI. Last week, we actually announced a platform of platforms to deliver enterprise-grade and Gen AI in an efficient manner. There was another announcement last week around a platform of platforms for a large ad agency that can deliver marketing-enabled services, all enabled by Gen AI. What are you seeing in Gen AI in specifically around ad tech?
Well, actually, Gen AI is everywhere. And potentially, Gen AI can be applied to every specific area in AdTech and not limited to that. It integrates very smoothly into ad insertion, for example. Okay, we have just an example. Our company developed and delivered a solution which recognize actions, items, speech, and everything in the video stream. And it allows us to put contextual advertisement into this flow. And of course, everyone benefits from that. So our audience receives more relevant content, and our sales team see the highest marks in their values. So Well, this is an example, but, as I said, GenAI is everywhere, and currently I would say that the main fear is that, and the main question is, how much GenAI can be allowed to be independent? And of course, we understand that, and we have solution in this direction as well. So very generally, but as examples.
Nazariy, any other examples you'd like to add?
Yeah, so here, like hand to hand goes using GenAI, as Evgeny mentioned, with e-commerce and shoppable advertisement. There are all the solutions present, and AWS also has one, basically of understanding understanding the context and targeting proper ads with that regard. But this is still really in early development because there are lots of challenging and problems that we are seeing, especially talking to our partners, is, proper filtering of what to be shown as an e-commerce for the advertisement. Like there could be hundreds of objects. Which of these objects makes sense to show? Which of these objects, don't compete? And so there are no problems of, one company versus other company. So these are still questions that are not yet answered. Industry is moving into direction how to tackle those. But, as Johanna mentioned, in our work, we do R&Ds that help to, do different POCs on how to tackle these solutions. So, yeah.
So basically, contextually relevant, content-aware advertising models is where we're going.
Yeah, it's basically leveraging, to hyper-personalization that we've been talking before. It's yet leveraging another piece of it where it's e-commerce. So that's yet another source of data from users. And it's all about making the experience that would be really targeted and tuned for user, or that would just drive the funnel. Basically that combining interactive advertisement, shoppable advertisement with e-commerce allows you to precisely tell how much conversion you would have. And having all this data, it's future, it's a key.
So how would you recommend, let's say you had a relative, your brother-in-law, and he's struggling with legacy linear capabilities, digital capabilities. What's your recommendation? How do you get started? What are you telling him to go do?
Yeah, so, it's easy to say stay up to date, but industry is moving so fast nowadays that every half a year, every year there is new solution. And, staying up to date, understanding where market is moving is really important, because if you don't, drive innovation, if you don't understand, you would just not know any kind of tools. But saying all this, also advice is to take a step back and look at what you're having at your platform comprehensively. Maybe you don't need the topest thing that's yet on the market. Maybe your ad platform is missing certain piece. For example, if your data platform is not in good spot, you won't get much from your ad platform. So, it's always taking a step back, understanding what gaps and problems you're having with your platform, analyze your main pain points, and then target a solution for those. It's also talking to different SMEs, talking to different experts that can do advisories, that can tell you what are gaps and the weak spots. And lastly is, innovating in terms of investing money into it. It might be small, but still there needs to be a start.
And what recommendations would you give?
Well, my advice is pretty the same, is to be aware of what can tech do for you. And it doesn't matter what you are doing, whether you're creating a content or you're delivering some shoppable ads or you're optimizing your internal processes. All of this about talking to people and companies in meaningful ways. And the challenge here is to find proper technical teams that can fill the market, that can understand the field, that can propose you ideas, that can push ideas, that can tackle complex issues. And don't be afraid of experiments and challenges, because today probably these experiments might be fresh, weird, complex, but tomorrow it might be your advantage. That's my advice.
Thank you, guys. I want to open it up to questions from the audience. Anything's fair game. I guess if you ask a question I don't think's fair game, I'll tell you, but let's just assume anything's fair game to get started. Any questions from the audience?
Hey, I'm David Goki from Grab TV, and we're focused on enabling the point and select on the product to buy from the remote. And commerce is not as highlighted here. Maybe it's 150% more in the content and sessions here. Where do you feel like the conversion to the ad, like the ad isn't the ends, it's often to get the lead or to get the purchase event. At what point will we see more interactive shopping experiences for the end consumer? Thank you so much.
Excellent question. And this does get into what we were talking about earlier today, actually, the whole concept of when are we going to actually get the shoppable ads? When are we going to get contextually relevant ads related, ideally hyper-personalized, contextually aware of the content that I could actually transact on?
Yeah, so this is something that many companies are working on. It's not yet, there is one big great solution there. But many partners have approaches that they're exploring, even some of the partners that we are working with. And they're getting slow there, right? Because you're right here, it's a question of when to put this. Do we actually need it for every content? It should be matched on the different kind of events and different kind of promotions, maybe different kind of specific, even specific content. So right now, partners are finding answers to this question, and yeah.
Well, just a little bit small addition. So we're using AI for that, as I was mentioned before, but this is very custom for our customer, because every customer would like to use some specific model which can help to apply some advertisement or create some shoppable ads to some relevant audience. So we have some solutions, we have some POCs, and everything is very custom here. But yeah, come closer to us. We can just explain you how it works. Can give you some details about that. So, go on.
And I think from a business model perspective, there's clearly, if you can provide a very highly relevant targeted ad that the consumer finds valuable at the point of purchase decision, it's highly relevant. The minute it's not targeted properly, it's actually more annoying. So I think there's a risk reward equation. So getting the model right, I think, is really an important aspect of being able to deploy this technology. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would welcome the ability to do that in the areas that are relevant to me and what goes on in my brain and what I find interesting. Yet sometimes what goes on up here I know is not aligned to what maybe a normal person might be thinking. So I think you got some hurdles to make it. And depending on the channel, depending on the type of content, there could be some environments that are more highly targeted, right, than others that lend themselves to being able to do things like that. So like if you were the tennis channel, you might have a better ability to deploy some of these types of capabilities, given you already have an audience that's predestined to consume a certain amount of content and or buy the types of products that might be being seen and used via that channel, as an example. I think we got a few more minutes. And
we've got a few minutes, yeah.
I want to make sure we're capturing anything. That's the silent side of the room. Come on, don't be bashful. Anything on this side? Questions? All right, well,
Okay.
I think we will then wrap up. I want to say thank you guys, and thank you, gentlemen, for coming here.